Alright, so either way, guys, I realize now since I have to promote 300 business cards and I have to go driving, let's say, I have to go to this guy's house who was in my high school and I have to promote to him as well my business card in his mailbox. But guess what? Which is much better like that, and I understand it's much better for me like this. I realize anyway, what I do from this point is I realize something. I'd rather go give 300 business cards first and then give that guy his business card, who was my high school friend before. And either way, I'm pretty sure he's still my friend. I have friends always. But the thing is, you must understand, it's much better to promote 300 business cards right now than one business card. You understand? So promote 300 first and then one. Or else his house is 15 minutes away drive in terms of driving. But in 15 minutes, I can promote my nice and beautiful business cards to 300 people. You understand? So that's the difference between the differences. So when you're actually going and making a seminar around people, then what you're teaching them is how to save time right away. And then along with the information, teach them something different. So understand now, I already told them that. But guess what? I realized that what I need to teach them really is just that. I mean, teach them the best information right away on the date. And what I do also is I make sure you guys have everything in terms of other information. Now, other information is that they are the questions. And the questions is what's important. And also, they ask me all these questions and I answer it. And that's one way. But the other way is I teach them time differences here. Other way. Approach nothing else. Other way. I teach them different types of aspects of life, but I teach them how to save time much more than anything. Watch your time management. Other way. Watch now, because I teach them time management quickly, I teach them the financial hazards of life. I update them about finances and how to get money and how to make money. And I teach them how to follow me for the next 30 years and to follow my mentors on my Instagram, and that's it. And to be in update for that. Or should they get the money's worth already? It's already gone. Or it's already done. I mean, that's why my mentors in your package deals is excellent. I mean, every single day I promote 6 superstars, I tell them. And guess what, I approach you now, every single time, that just giving me $200 to see my mentors is so excellent. You understand? Because I get to see all the inspirations. And that adds to my value, and it adds to my bonuses and my packages. And also just see my mentors, always. And I know what, that way, I love my life. Well, because I'm living my life to the fullest, I'm making sure I'm learning very quickly upon how to just promote myself with audio. Promote myself with audio everywhere. But that's just for now. And I'm doing video work in the long term too. But at the seminar, I'm doing 8 hours of seminar and 8 hours of recordings. So what I do is with people's nice and beautiful, let's say break time, I do audio content. I pause my video during the break on my seminars. And I say, if you guys want to answer any questions during the break time, I feel free. You guys can go and do what you want. And give them 2 hours of break times. I'm going to give them 2 hours of break times. And say, you guys can leave at 2 o'clock. And you guys can leave at 4 o'clock. And you guys can leave at 6 o'clock for 30 minutes somewhere if you want. But I'm here to answer your questions during break time too. I'm going to give them 3 break times. I'm give them 3 break times. And that way, answer the questions. And now, the seminar's going on, always. But all you say is you guys are free to have a break time whenever you want. And that's it. I mean, guess what? I mean, that's the best. I mean, give them a break time whenever they want. When you want to go to the toilet, go on. But the seminar's going on for 8 hours. And there's no break times. I mean, for me, there's no break times. But for them, I mean, go ahead. I mean, go and see. There's always a break time. But I never make break times. Other than I help them to have a break time. Because they gave me money. I mean, the seminar's going on. I mean, you want to sit here? I mean, go ahead. I'm never stopping for you. I'm never stopping my beautiful content for you. Now, that's the best way to do a seminar, is let them have a break anytime at seminars. But you keep going with the seminar. So, let's say you come to my seminar, and your family comes to my seminar, and you have 50 family members who come with me to my seminar. And we're sitting down for 8 hours. But then you may say, hey, I have to go to the toilet. I mean, go to the toilet. But my seminar is going on. Or else then you may say, hey, my kid has to eat. I mean, go and eat with them. Guess what? I mean, you guys feel free to go for my seminar whenever you want. But the seminar's still going on. Then if you want to leave at 3 o'clock and there's still 5 hours of seminar to go, but you gave me $200, I mean, go ahead. I mean, just leave my seminar at 3 o'clock then. I'll keep you $200. Understand? But the thing is, if you come in my seminar, you sit down, and you want to learn something from me for 8 hours, then you have to sit down for 8 hours to watch me. Understand? Otherwise, if you want a break for 30 minutes, then go. But I'm working. I'm giving people questions and answers upon what they're actually telling me to answer them. In terms of what they're asking me to answer with them, or else you may miss out on the information if you go. But I'm never stopping for you. I mean, go if you want. I mean, just go straight away. And that's it. And now, do I do PowerPoints and my presentation? Well, yes, I do PowerPoints and my presentation. And now I have a whiteboard. And now on the whiteboard, I want to plan what to write over here. Fortunately now, with the financial side, it's more the time difference only. And now, I want to write some stuff down in terms of notes, in terms of what I really want to write down and teach people. And I want to do it right now. I want to understand now that since I do that, or else I want to teach them the nice and beautiful habit of what? Which there's a big difference. So what I want to teach people is a time value here. I want to teach them, I want to point them to these directions. I say Uber only. I say, whereas now, that's the best way. I just go Uber and taxi. And what else? I mean, Uber and taxi and Didi only. I say no mortgages. So no mortgage. I can write all this list down all the time. All my seminars just get this information. I say I'm always promoting my mentors here. But what else do I save their time with? I say no 9-to-5 job. I say no 9-to-5 job. I mean, what else? I mean, now I understand anyway. And since I do that, I realize it's much more how it is. And now I feel that I'm promoting myself. I'm saving time. Making sure I'm living life. I'm showing them where to go. I'm showing them how to read. I'm showing them everything else. I focus upon delegation. Whereas now, how else do I save them time? Whereas there's so many ways to save time, but it's all in recognition on how to do that. I say I help them ask questions. I realize that's all done. I mean, what else? I mean, now with time savings. Whereas now it's much more how I feel. I say no possessions other than phones and laptops long term, which that's the best way. I mean, phones and laptops is all you need in terms of to do your work for Jesus Christ. I mean, what else? I mean, now, since that's the case, anyway, I come up with more reasons over time. I'm learning quickly. I'm a star. I can feel it. Whereas now, because I do that, I go and do myself a favor. Go and promote myself much more. I'm going and just really understanding my life. And as you understand your life, you guys succeed straight away when I give you more content about everything. But I'm understanding anyway. I have to go connect the dots together. And I have to show you guys quickly on how to do that. So what I do is I go and promote my audios. And I promote my audios right away. And there's no waiting. But what I do now is I go and check it out here. I make sure that you guys understand straight away I'm promoting my audios and you guys can see my podcast courses. And I get them to download Megadrive right away. I say download Megadrive. And now that is saving time. I mean, go ahead. So download Megadrive. I love it. I invest my courses over here. So I sign them up with my affiliate program. I say download Megadrive with my link on Instagram. Now that's how I make money too. And either way, I'm making sure that no matter what, I focus upon just giving people information on the day. And that's how I really do something very fast and proactively in a way that's helping me move forward. Whereas now, as I do life, I want to be able to just reread my beautiful information here and there with my podcasting. So I want to go through my content really quickly. And why is that? just so I can read to see how the podcast is going in that seminar or podcast range that I gave. I mean, it's much more how people can hear me anyway. I mean, people can always hear what's going on in the background. I mean, I can see the different type of ways. So what I'm doing is I'm learning very quickly upon making sure that you guys can hear me. So I'll let it be. But I'm understanding something now. I'm understanding that no matter what I do, I focus upon understanding to love you, and I'm always loving you in a way that it's helping me move forward. But as I move forward, I succeed. And I make sure that no matter what, that my life is always doing better in ways of communication. Because what's important is looking for that what's important is looking for that nice and beautiful attitude. So I see Jim Rohn saying, wow, I mean, if I was you, man, I understand what I can do. And that's how it is. I mean, make sure I understand that now, since I'm actually doing that better. Make sure I understand that it's much more about how I need to do better for myself anyway. So what I do now is I go download my content over here and I make sure I go promote these business cards quickly, man. Because I understand that no matter what, it's very important for me to do so. And make sure that I'm just always connecting these dots together in a way that's helping me grow. And anyway, I make sure that you guys understand I'm playing music in the background. And how am I doing that? I'm doing it with my phone and earphones. And I'm listening to my other music. And that way I'm always learning very quickly upon everything. And I love everything, but I want to see what one else says. And I go, I die shall never kill. And that's it. And either way, I promote my nice and beautiful music always. So you guys can check out my music and you can see what's happening. So if somebody's trying to open a door but they never speak words, then just keep going. But if they speak words like, hey, let me in the toilet, but I have to go. And then let them in the toilet because they spoke words. But if they never speak words, then they're just looking to suss you out in a way to say, hey, I'm here. But they're trying to joke around with you in a way to show you that they care in a negative way. I understand, because anything that's negative is something that never speaks words. But I'm never negative. I'm never negative. But guess what? I mean, anything that's silence, anything that's done in silence is what? And that's positive or negative? Worship, Jesus Christ says positive. And silence is positive. Alright, now Jesus Christ says negativity is anything that's Jesus Christ says anything that's negativity is never the 10 Commandments of God. And anything that's positivity is the 10 Commandments of God. Understand? So that's how you see negativity and positivity. And that's the only way you see positivity and negativity. So just love your life in a way that you are doing life in a better way. And that's what you have to do. So if you love your life so much, I mean, be willing to promote your music and who you are. And that's what you do. I mean, just making sure always that you're showing people in a nice and beautiful fashion about you. And make sure you record yourself the first time in your first event, man. I mean, have a camera on hire on your first event. I mean, get them to come the whole night. I mean, give them money right away because it's your first event. I mean, never ever miss that moment. Understand? So what you need to realize is if you have a seminar on the first time or first occasion, or you're doing a DJ event somewhere, and it's your music, then have people record your events. I mean, give them money to record you the whole night and post them on YouTube. And now suddenly you're a star. And that's what you do. Rosh, I have to do that. So no matter what, I'm very close to success here. I'm almost ready. I'm preparing myself for a better way. And now, as I understand sometimes, what happens is, I see how women say that they're a DJ. They're never DJ. You understand? And that's how I see it anyway. Roshi, what's amazing is focus upon saying, I love everything. And then just realize that they do love you if you understand how to give more. And always give more, guys. But if they never love you because of yourself or because of how you look, then guess what? I'm pretty sure they never deserve you. Roshi, that's how it is. So focus on yourself in a way that's helping you grow. And that's what you have to do. You're just making sure every single day you're learning very quickly about the art. You're learning about the art of persuasion. But when you learn about the art of persuasion, you groom yourself slowly. And be careful about anywhere where there may be a pimple or something. Just make sure that you're never cutting yourself. Make sure you're never cutting yourself as you're grooming. That's nice and beautiful, isn't it? Making sure always that you're using every kind of fiber or ounce of strength you have to make sure you're promoting everything. And promote yourself really nicely and beautifully, always, to love your life differently. And that's all you have to do. And when you do that, do it differently. And that's all you have to do. But never rush anything, guys. Be able to enjoy, guys. In that sense, so if you understand that, I realize I can see it's all good. In a sense, so focus upon understanding that. Soon, I go to nightclubs and I start doing my music events very soon. And I'm very much learning about how to promote myself in events around town now. I'm targeting people with advertisements. And it's similar to how you do it online, but in the real world, it's much better. It's much better in the real world than doing it online. What's the difference between online promotion and real life promotion? First, it's the word you speak. Guys. First, now the words, there's a big difference between words here. But the thing between advertising online and advertising real life is people get to see you one way, but the other way they never get to see you. And they may see you online, but never in real life, and that's the difference. And that's it. First, now targeting people. First, there's a big difference between online targeting in marketing and online in terms of offline, in terms of real life targeting and marketing. One way is I get to promote my face on buses, in terms of the buses and Ubers and taxis in real life. Another way is I click one click on Instagram and it goes somewhere on Instagram. Or I send a location to Africa, Instagram over there. And I can do that too. In a sense, so there's a big difference between those. But understand always, that on Instagram right now, you can go and locate people on Instagram right now in different formats and different ways of promoting, and you can send the location to wherever you are and promote on Instagram where you are. And you can do that online. And as a worth it, I promise you people come and see you. And they can come and see you, but I've done that. But what's even better is real life promotion. Because be at the events while you're promoting yourself is much better than doing it online. And that's it. For us, it's always better to do real life promotion than online promotion. Because it's easy for me to do $10 per day or $200 per day or $1 million per month or more and click and give Mark Zuckerberg all my money to promote me online on just Instagram. Understand? Or I can go and send $1 million to Africa and say, in Jakarta or African cities, I want my bus over there to have my name. I want my bus over there to have my name and my promotion on your buses over there. But I have to call them. And I give them the money. And then they promote my advertisements at their countries for 1 month before I even come. That's the way. That's even more positive for you to do that. And that's something new. That's something new. That's how you promote yourself. As a you promote yourself that way as a music producer or comedy individual or life coach. And that way I'm understanding anyway. I'm learning very quick about what I'm doing. So as I do that, I let it be. I have to go and do a massage now. And the massage is nice and beautiful. I have to go and let it be now. I have to trim my mustache every single day. And why is that? Because when I trim my mustache every single day, I do better to look greater. And that's the whole point. So now, since I understand my life completely, be an individual who understands your life. Be someone who understands how to succeed is what I'm saying. I love that. And be careful how you drop your technology. In terms of, be careful how you drop your shoulder bag that has your laptop in it. You never want to be breaking your technology is what I mean. So that is why I say be careful when you drop your technology with your shoulder bag, because you never want to break your technology. So every single day, learn the art of communication. I mean, all you're really doing with your mustache daily, or your hairlines, or anything about your hair, is trimming it daily. I mean, now if you need laser treatment, then go and do laser trim. I mean, always focusing on doing something that's helping you. So that's the whole point, but be very careful when you're using sharp obstacles or sharp knives. I mean, in the sense, so that's the whole point. I mean, just be careful about what you're doing. I mean, what you want to understand about my music that's very long in the process is it sounds very good. And it sounds excellent. So my music is trance music. And because I have trance music, I understand it's trance anthems of Danny Milivojevic. And nobody else is doing it. So that's why I'm very unique in what I do. I'm very unique because I say so, and because I also do so. And because nobody else has my face in life. And that's why I'm very much more popular about what I do. So if anybody asks me at the event how I make money at the door. I mean, you guys can see how I make money. I mean that's it. But I also make money with Jesus Christ. I make money in other ways too. I mean, and if they're asking, how did you get money for the event? I say, Jesus Christ. I say, Jesus Christ is here. I mean, what's that? I mean, it means, these are the ways I'm about to explain how I get my money. Always. And now if somebody asks me, did I work 9 to 5 to get the money? I say, yeah. I worked 9 to 5 to get the money. You know what I'm saying? I worked 9 to 5 to get the money. I mean, what job did you do? I mean, what job did you do to get the money? I do the words of the job. Do the words of the job. I mean, what kind of job is it? I mean, it can be any job in the planet. I mean, it can be any job in the planet. I mean, but what job? I mean, what label of the job did you do? I've done all sorts of work in communication. All life. I mean, what kind of job is that? I mean, communication work. I mean, communication work in terms of life, in terms of the nice and beautiful way I'm speaking. I mean, but guess what? I mean, now they have no questions. I mean, but how? I mean, are you on Centrelink? I mean, I'm never on Centrelink because guess what? I never need Centrelink. I never need Centrelink, man. I mean, do you receive Social Security? I can receive Social Security. Understand? I can. I mean, do I receive it now? I say, yeah, I always receive Social Security. Always receive it. I mean, but how did you fund your events? How did you fund your event around here? I mean, I gave the money for it. I gave the money. But how did you really fund your event? I gave you the money, and I really understand to speak the words, to be able to go and pronounce myself in front of you people today, and all of you gave me $200 each to make my net worth, and that's how I make the money. Understand? So either way, whereas now they're asking more questions here, and they say, but who gave you the money here? I gave me the money. I gave the money. I mean, they say, how? I mean, how did you get the money though? I get the money from other people to help you. I mean, but who gave you the money? I mean, the banks. I mean, the banks are giving me the money away. I mean, how much money did you get from the bank? I mean, I get over thousands of dollars from the bank to make my events. I mean, how much money is that? I mean, that's for you to just understand something right here. That if they go into that, they just say, hey, I mean, guess what? I mean, let's just go with the seminar right now, because that's something personal finance right now in terms of my statements. And I understand either way, I'm understanding that I never hide information, but just say, hey, now we're actually talking about that now. And we're talking about all that now. We're talking about different aspects of life, but what else can they ask me, really? I mean, it's all financial questions, isn't it? I mean, with them, it's all finance. I mean, finance is the time. I mean, finance is Jesus Christ. I mean, finance is different aspects of life. So what I want to elaborate on is different aspects. But what do I want to draw on there nice and beautiful ways over here? I mean, what do I want to draw on the whiteboard? Which I can draw some stuff over here in terms of how to do something about life. Understand? So I always understand either way that I can use a whiteboard drawing to go and describe something in images to make on Facebook or Instagram about that. And about those images that I draw, unique codes of honor. I can do that, but other video. So what I do now is I quickly go to Officeworks because I understand now what I want to do, I want to make sure I'm very, very successful because I understand something. If somebody's trying to open a door, they try to open them doors in silence too. I mean, why is that? Because if you do that, whereas it's the most positive thing. In a sense, what I do now is I realize something. If somebody's trying to open a door in silence to you, then try to silently open the door too. You understand? And that's why it's very positive. So what I realize now is I never rely on other people to do anything. I never rely on other people regardless. So let it be. I'll move on. But if that was Jesus Christ, if Jesus Christ is trying to open a door silently and you're watching, and you're on the other side of the door, and he's trying to open the door, open the door. Understand? So that way, he never has to speak words to you. Understand? What were you hiding? Guess what? It's more how the silent treatment over here is different, isn't it? That is a rejection. In a sense, so you have to be aware. You have to be aware of that. And since I'm much more aware, I'll let it be there. I make sure you guys understand now. I'll let it be. What I do is I move on. Now, I go somewhere different. I go do my life differently. I'm promoting myself regardless, but let's say my biological dad has no card for me for now. Or else either way, what I do is I make sure I do something else. I get the Uber and I go off the Uber then. And then I catch the bus and I just move on. I'll go do it in that area over there. And there's no big deal. So I make sure always to have a nice and beautiful different plan. So that's the case. It's much more, I get the Uber, I go get my business cards, and I go promote over there at Officeworks houses, over there. And then catch the bus from the nice and beautiful, let's say, where? I go walking. I just walk all the way to my biological dad's house. And if I'm willing to do that, I can do it. I'm talking the whole way through. I walk the whole way. Guess what? It's much more how I feel. Anyway, I catch the bus from Officeworks, and I can catch the bus to my biological dad's house. It's much better. And I just do that. And I never have to walk as much. So anyway, guess what? I promise you, I have all the money in the world, guys. I have all the money in the world because I have all the words of the world. Understand? But those people who lack words also lack money. Understand? I promise those people who lack the word I never get the money. I always have the money. Promise you, my dreams are always coming true, and they're coming true really quickly. Promise you, my dreams are coming true now. Promise this is the quickest time for me to make money right now. And money is made easily, as Tony Robbins says. And money is made through words, man. If you can make words, then you can make money. So always expect yourself to do better. And always be understanding to just ask. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to give my biological dad something like a shampoo or something first. So that he says yes first. I want to ask him to do something better. So I want to do something better for myself. So as I do better, I succeed in different ways. Because I see how I really lift myself. I focus upon how I understand. Ja hoću da te pitam. Ja hoću da te pitam za to. Ja hoću da te pitam za ovo.
Šta da me pitaš?
Ja hoću da ti kažem nešto. Ja hoću da ti kažem.
A puko si mu.
Ja hoću ti kažem za taj šampo, ja vidim da je to šampo.
26 kila.
Ja te pitam, pa kažem ti za šampo. I want you to say this. I gave my biological dad. I gave him some soap for me. I gave him some soap. said, Jesus Christ, can understand this one. I gave my biological dad some soap. It's wet. What is saying? What is this, man? Oh. I mean, guess what? I can picture it. I mean, it's because he loves it, man. But guess what? I mean, imagine I gave you a wet soap. I put in your hand. I mean, it's a wet soap. I mean, do you understand soap? And that, I realize now, what kind of soap is it? I'm pretty sure I have no idea about the soap. But guess what? Pretty sure now, that's why I understand what I mean now. Whereas now, I never want to touch soap ever again. I never want to touch soap because it may have animal products on it. Understand? So it means anything that may have animal products, I never want to touch it even in the plastic. Understand? I never want to touch it even in the plastic. I never want to touch it even if it's a shampoo or whatever it is. I never want to touch the product at all. Now I'm learning much quicker about that. I'm learning much quicker. But what I do is, just imagine I gave you some lemongrass soap or something, or some kind of soap that is, let's say, vegan. And you put it in your hands and just, it's so mushy in a way that it's washing your hands as soon as I put it in your hands. I understand. So the thing is, now, a little bit, since I'm actually showing him that, now, anyway, I feel that he's very angry at this. I'm pretty sure that what I do now is the best time to ask him now. I want to ask him now. Ja, son. Ja hoću te pitam da samo idem da uzmem business cards.
Šta?
Ja idem da uzmem mojim business cards. Ja te pitam za auto. I see, anyway, I'm just asking my biological dad just to go to the shop to get my business card printings. So I just do better. So as I do my nice and beautiful life, to be able to convince my biological dad of anything, I give him a bar of soap or something like that, and he holds the soap. When he holds the bar of soap, that's actually wet. I mean, the bar of soap is wet, and he holds it. I mean, it's so funny. But I give him something of material possessions, so he says yes. And that's the whole point. So what I want to do is I want to focus upon understanding that now, since my events are coming up very quickly, I want to get away from the crowd as much as possible. I don't want to find myself around people of the past because they never believe in me. You understand? I mean, they never believe in me. So what I do is I move on. And now I understand that when I say that, I can say it's more because they never tried to talk for me, but guess what? Probably it's more how it's never the case. Probably it's never the case. Probably the case is that they do believe in me and the ideas to give me ideas. I understand, but it's more how I understand Jesus Christ never speaks words for me. I understand, so it's never that. I'm pretty sure it's more how I have to express my love, yeah. It's more how I feel. And now Jesus Christ tells me over here to be able to just show up in a way that I love I and just move on. I love I. I'm pretty sure that's all I'm trying to really say. But I'm always learning something. I approach anyway, guys. I just drank my 250ml pomegranates. Actually, that's the I apologize. So make sure you understand. Alright, so make sure you understand that when you have a bin that you want to open, or if you want to chuck something in quickly without having to touch the lid, and chuck it in quickly without trying to catch the lid falling down, so the actual lid can fall on the floor much better. So never leave your keys on the rubbish bin, please. And never leave your keys anywhere other than in your shoulder bag or with your hands. In terms of your car keys. Because that way you never lose it. So now, or as the day forward is moving quickly, and I feel this nice beautiful vibe around myself. Because I feel I'm richer in what I'm doing. So what I want to do now is I realize that I have a nice and beautiful I Die Shall Never Kill track. And I want to make sure that I go and play some vocals in it. And I want to place vocals of 3 times quality to be able to hear my vocals 3 times in a track. I love it. And now, why is that? Well, it's because it's extra value. I mean, it's extra value. And now, what do I want to promote at places? I want to promote the vocal track because it's more. I mean, there's so much more happening. Like, guess what? Then there's also my nice and beautiful instrumental. But if I want the instrumental to be that long, now, guess what? It's just that kind of vibe, isn't it? The instrumental with how it is excellent. Or else without, in terms of is, I see is. Or else the instrumental in terms of how it is, I see is excellent. I want to make sure I'm doing better. I want to make sure anyway that I'm just going to promote my vocals. And that's the whole point. I mean, the whole point is promote yourself in regards to what you're doing, in all attempts to do so. And what you do is plan as much as you can. So now, since I have my Baltic Dad's car, I'm going and getting my nice and beautiful business cards. But I need to progress the track of my beautiful I Thou Shalt Never Kill track. But guess what? I'll let it be. I'll move on. But why? I mean, it's more how I feel. But since I do that, brothers, it's more how I make it anyway, so that people can hear it. And I do that anyway. I'll make sure I keep going because I may use it somewhere in some kind of regard. And make sure I promote myself doing it in different ways. And that's how I do it. Make sure I keep making more music regardless. I do something different. And now, since I'm understanding that in 2010, I was so much into clubbing. I was so into clubbing back then. In terms of nightlife. And I realized how far I've come in just my music production as well. And now, since I'm always developing myself, I'm realizing something about my 20s over here. I'm realizing it's working out. And now, did my teenage years work out for me? Actually, yes. Actually, my teenage years overall did work out for me. I mean, how? How though? Actually, it's more how I feel that I understand either way. That my teenage years, in terms of life, I'm pretty sure it did work out in some regard. Pretty sure, yes. Pretty sure everything's working out and everything's never working out at the same time. Whereas now with my life, everything works out always. So everything's working. I'm pretty sure everything in terms of what I've been through has led to this moment right here, and that's honest. I mean, now how did I find myself in this situation? Pretty sure my life story. I mean, everything that's happened in terms of everything that did happen in my life has led to this moment. Whereas now, for many years to come, I'm pretty sure many people can never even amount to how much audio content I've done in my life. Understand? So, I'm always doing audio content. I'm always making sure I'm doing a lot of content. But I see exactly how much people are losing. So, if you want to put a green arrow or any type of arrows, or you're driving a car and you want to signal somebody with your arrow, then make sure that on a roundabout that you're turning left on, you only signal the left side, and that's it. I mean, never signal the right side when you're turning. Never signal the right side when you're turning left, and never signal the right side when you're turning left. But make sure you're never signaling the left side when you're turning right. Rush, that's how it is. Rush, now when I understand something about life, I'm understanding that now, since I'm actually very much in promotion of what I do, I'm making sure that I need to go and boost my quality of interest here. So how do I do that? I make sure I go through the financial side of the banks to see what they're doing. But guess what? They're holding something back from me too. They're holding a lot of information back. And I can see all that information anyway. Now, guess what? I still want to read their information. But I see what's happening behind the scenes of the banks. And I see how I understand my mentors are helping me with the nice and beautiful bank information here. And I can see how I just move up. But I see exactly how people are aware to the words they've given only. I mean, people are only aware to the point they've given the words. But if you want to give more words, then you can give more life. And if you want to live longer in life, then you have to talk more words. Which that's how it is. Or should those who die earlier have less words to give, and that's it. I love everything in life because I understand the truth shall set you free if you talk more. And that's how I understand always how people who are doing something to do construction around town where they may be lifting something, I mean, guess what happens when they have to lift something? Or if they have to go around construction lifting poles and all that, which that's the worst behavior, which that's the worst thing, because they all want to get away from each other, but they're acting like they're friends or something. Which now they're actually honest about the friendship, which they're honest about the friendship, but they never want to say that they want to leave each other. I mean, you understand? I mean, they're always dishonest to some point. I understand, but I'm never dishonest. I'm always exposing exactly what I mean. I mean, as soon as I meet you, I want to leave from you straight away. I'll make sure anyway. I just drop off my dad's car and then I go to the nice and beautiful accommodation neighborhood next to me. Alright, then I just make sure to just promote myself. Whereas now, food and drink, I have to get myself something to eat as well. I have to be always, never struggling, but I have to be moving along. I have to be moving along quickly. Because my event's coming up. and I have to be promoting that. And since I promote it and talk about it so much, I mean, it's excitement. There's a lot of excitement happening right now. And those people who understand what I'm doing at the 28th of May, I mean, they can see exactly how I feel. I mean, either way, the what's important is I go and book another event somewhere, and at the moment, it has to be at Mounties again. And why Mounties again? Because now, depending on what's happening with that event first. Because now, anyway, if it's a free event at Mounties, then I promote my business account and what I have in terms of events, I promote it in a better place. I can see that happening right away. Promote somewhere else. And it's because I have to keep moving from that point. I have to create events somewhere else. Understand? Because it was a free event. But guess what? It's much more how I feel. That the next month after that happens to be where I have to travel somewhere. And where do I have to travel? I have to go to Melbourne. I have to go to Melbourne right away. And why Melbourne? Because I feel I have to get out of the city. I have to get out of the city because otherwise they want me to work on another 5 job. So rather I've received the social security for another month and save up some money and then try again. And then that's how I do it. I have to keep moving regardless. And now anyway, now I want to see, depending on what's happening on the day, I have to understand something now. If I promote my event over there, there's no running anymore. And why is that? Because if I run from them, if I keep running from them, then guess what happens? Then I have to understand something. If I get a 9-to-5 job right away, and I start funding the events with a 9-to-5 job, while promoting my events, approaching now, that's the time, huh? It's much more how I feel. I never want to be running. I never want to be running, but guess what? I want to do it all for free. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that either way, that this event has to be successful for me. That's how I feel. So what I do now is to make sure anyway that what I want to do is be more success. I want to be more of a success to promote here at the car parks over here. Now that's something I can do. I have car parks over here. I have a nice and beautiful Officeworks car park range over here to promote my business cards around town here. And here at Officeworks there's a large car park. So I give business cards right now, but again and again, I did forget my nice and beautiful business cards again. And why is that? I mean, I don't know. But that's the thing, I savagely did attack myself here. So what I want to do before I get into the car, or before I go on the bus now, is before I go and walk anywhere, I want to have my green bag on me to bring my business cards that promotes my events with me always, once I have those business cards. And now either way, I'll move on. I just want to grab these nice and beautiful stuff over here to make sure I have everything. So my nice and beautiful business cards and my nice and beautiful, let's say, car keys, I'm gonna say it's right here. So I'm focusing on making sure I can do my life. Whereas as I do my life, I make sure I'm doing something to help my life. So whereas now passport photos, I have to understand the passport photos because the passport photos is different. I feel I have that guy over there on Brown Street. I feel he's very jealous of me. I'm alright. Whereas now when I really understand something about life here, I focus on different aspects of life. I feel that guy also is jealous. But I make sure that no matter what that, since I really grow myself in different ways, I make sure I'm always learning very quickly upon what I need to do to succeed. But guess what? Approach, that's the whole difference, isn't it? Approach, the whole difference about life is making sure that you have to progress your music differently as you go along. And that's it. Approach, it can be as long as you want. As long as it's different, approach, it's much better. And that's why I understand how to make music better. Because I do something differently, and that's why I'm always understanding that my pickup is over here. So always go to the pickup. Always go to the pickup. I have a business card. Always go to the pickups section, into the pickup section at the printing firm where you did print your business cards, to be going and giving you nice and beautiful content. So just make sure, anyway, what you need to do is I need to study where I did leave my business cards over here. So what I want to do all the time is focus upon understanding that my actual firm over here, in terms of life, I have a message from them. I just show them a message. So I have to understand that since Officeworks sends messages to people, telling people, hey, your business cards are ready, show them that message and they believe you. And that's how. Anyway, so what I do is I make sure I have the message ready for them to see. And that way I just do my life. I do my life completely differently. And I just make sure.
Danny?
So, yeah. I say thank you. I say now either way. I thank you very much. I thank you. I say now anyway, whereas that's my business cards right here. So it's 300. I say it's 300 per box. And they fit 300 business cards per box. So anyway, I see that now. I'm learning very quickly upon what I need to do to succeed. So what I do now is I move on very quickly. And I make sure that you guys understand now. Since I have my business cards, make sure I can go and give her my business card. Why didn't I give her my business card? But if I receive anything from anybody in terms of a box or any type of material in the planet or anything, I just go and give my business cards as quickly as possible. So now I focus on making sure I let it be now. Guess what? I make sure no matter what I do, I just move on now. But it's more how I feel. I love her. Why? I love her. I want to make sure I promote myself with her. I want to give her my business card. And it's more how I feel. I have to promote my event as well. And now since that's the case, I should give her my business card anyway. I'm going to go over here. I'll make sure that she receives my business card over here. Because she's somebody who did serve me. So I want to make sure that I give her my business card. And anyway, that since I realized something about these people, I realized something about this now. Actually, it's more on promotion. And as it's a promotion, I'll just go and just pick up my nice beautiful business card over here. But I focus on giving her my business card over here in different ways. And that's the thing now. I realize that is why. I'll make sure it's my time over here. I'll make sure now, the thing is that if you forget giving somebody your business card, then guess what? You can make a rule where you can just leave. But if that's the case, I promise you it's more how I feel. I promise you now, let it be this one. But I promise you from now on that if I remember to give them my business card, I give it to them on the spot. But if somehow I may forget, then guess what happens? I never return to give them my business card if I did forget to give it to them. Because that's then a waste of my time. I just move on. Because I understand by the time she fucking sees me, you get it? So that's the whole point. The whole point is fucking never waste your time. If you never fucking gave it the first time, just move on, you know. Do you understand? So every single time, just focus upon understanding that what you need to do is see the words of life. See the words every single day to focus on your life, because they're unaware. So make sure that you be aware about everything. So what I need to do now is focus on making sure I have more of a life now. And make sure I do something different now. I have car parks over here to promote my business cards, but I need to go get my nice and beautiful cards in terms of the events over here, and that's the thing. I mean, either way, I remember this image now. I'm never ever doing a disservice to myself again like this. So make sure every single day that you learn from your mistakes quickly, so it never happens again. Makes sense? So I'm never sick, but I felt sick before because something was really driving me to, let's say, give. And I'm giving always, but it's more how I feel. I did reject her totally. I mean, in a sense, so why? I felt I felt I did waste time. I mean, and I felt more power in other ways. And now, yeah, I felt that I was losing power here. I mean, why? I felt I was losing power because I did leave her out. But guess what? I mean, I'm giving her online. I'm giving her everything online right now. I mean, right now she can find me. And in a sense, so guess what? I'm never losing time, am I? I'm never losing time because she can find me online. I mean, in a sense, so anyway, what I do is I move on. I have newfound knowledge now. I make sure now I have to make my nice and beautiful events, so now I feel better. But I make sure all the time that you guys understand something. I make a food list and I go and promote to see what I need to get and do right now to succeed. So what I do is I get 2 soy milks. I get 2 soy milks. I get 2 soy milks. Now I want to get some rice. I get some rice. And what else? I mean, let's have a look over here. I get the basmati rice. So I get the basmati rice. I mean, what else do I get? I mean, that's it, yeah. I mean, some bolognese sauce. I have some bolognese sauce already. So either way, whereas now, I want to make sure that I make food and drink as well. And I go also straight away in the neighborhood and I start promoting my business cards right away, because now, what's the time? And the time is 2 o'clock, so I'm running on schedule. I'm on schedule and it's still early. And what I could do is, now during the night time, I never promote my business cards in the night time. So why is that? Because I never need to walk myself in the night time to do my business cards anyway. Whereas now I want to make sure that everybody can see this. Make sure I just place it here. I never place, I do place, I say, I never, I do, I never, I do always, I say I never promote my business cards at night time physically, so I have more energy for I see energy. Whereas either way, approach now, what I want to do is I focus upon understanding that it's more the time to do so now, where I promote all this nice and beautiful stuff over here. And now since I'm doing that, I just make sure I copy and paste this information into my nice and beautiful calendar over here, which is my financial calendar. And I make sure that something's happening in my life that's actually working out for me right now. But what is that? I mean, what's actually working out? I mean, what's working out for me is I get another juice as well. I make sure you understand that every single time I'm learning very quickly upon getting these 250ml juices that really helps me to absorb something for life. So 250ml juice is nice. I mean, it's more enough. I mean, in that sense, so what I want to do is I feel that if you want to do greater and if you want to feel greater about yourself, then love your life. I mean, love your life differently. I mean, in a sense, so every single day I'm focusing on making sure that my life is different. So it's very hot for some reason. I mean, it's very hot. So what I want to do is I let it be. I want to turn up the nice and beautiful air condition over here. I want to make sure you guys understand something about life. So I'm promoting myself differently. I'm making sure to see how this guy is promoting his nice and beautiful fence over here. So I see something different. Now, I actually see straight away how different I am to how other people are different. And I can see the different promotional tags over here. I can see how always how I make sure that no matter what, I'm learning very differently about life, and I'm seeing very differently about what to do. But if you're promoting your sign in terms of the sign nature that has a lot of words and small words on the roads, then nobody cares about that, I promise you. I mean, what people care about is really a heading that says Office Works that you can see from the road while you're driving. When they care about that. I mean, it's in large letters, man. When they care about that. When they care about large letter stuff. I mean, if you promote your large letters daily, then make sure always that you go and really connect yourself into a better way to love your life differently, because that's how you do life. And now if you want to hook up your nice and beautiful promotion somewhere where people can see you with something in terms of the life, where you're actually focusing on the road and you're making sure that your talking as well is nice and beautiful while doing an audio program, while making sure that your nice and beautiful audio program is working and that it's never locking itself in terms of with the phones, then make sure you understand you're doing a great job. Alright, now what's important is making sure that I can see how people can actually hook up to a pole somewhere with a portrait, and they can tie it up as well, and it can be hanging on the pole somewhere. But I feel how people never care about your promotion because you're promoting yourself. I mean, I said, and this is because they never promote themselves. I mean, so those people who never promote themselves never care about your promotion. I mean, that's how it is. But as soon as they start promoting themselves, then they remember you and your promotion. That's how it is. I promise you. I realize. So now what you want to do is focus on understanding that, see how sex is going on with other people. Now focus on making sure that I understand that. But what I do is speak more words anyway, because I feel that I never miss out, because I never want to have sex with me, so I never need sex then. I never need sex when they never want to give me sex. In a sense, so what I do is I never do judo or Brazilian jiu-jitsu because I never need to go learn that with other people. I do learn that on my own. I never learn to fight with other people. I learn to fight on my own. And there's a big difference. So if they force you to go to martial school, in terms of martial arts school or something, then create your own martial arts category. And create your own moves and do something different. And there's always a new move. I promise there's billions of moves. And there's billions of ways to kill someone and what. I mean, there's billions of ways to move out, in terms of move up and down and through life and on life and under life. Whereas what you do is succeed differently and make sure you're doing something different for yourself. I'll go straight. Whereas now, why do I go straight? I realize now I must understand something. But since I go straight, I realize it's much more how I feel. So the whole difference is make sure that you guys are going where you feel that you need to park your car. Whereas if you feel that you need to park your car earlier, then make sure you understand that it's much better. Understand? But if you feel that you want to go to a specific place to do it, then go. But for now, I realize it's much more how I need to park my car earlier. Understand? So what I do is, as I park my car earlier, I realize it's much more how I feel. So this is the beautiful range of earlier nature here. Whereas now, because I understand that, whereas it's actually much more how I feel. But is it closer? Or is it a closer way for me? I probably want the easier way or the closer way. I probably now, what does Jesus Christ say about life here? I mean, does he go the closer way or the easier way? And does he go the easy way or the closer way? Or he wants the closer way or easier way. Or she wants to go the closer way, and the closer way, and he wants to be the closer way always. Or it's the closer way ever. Or it's the best way. Or it's the best way is closer. Whereas now, for myself, I understand the closer way is over there. I have to go over there then. Whereas now, I understand that. Whereas now, since I understand that my life is talking now, I realize that I have poor habits here, and I'm talking over it now. Right, so you have to talk over the poor habits. And as you talk over poor habits, guess what happens? I mean, you're building better habits. You're building and moving quicker throughout life. And you're doing something different very quickly. But I understand that my wife and kids can learn this very quickly. And that's why I understand they're on their own doing this, you understand? But that's why I'm very successful. But as they watch me do it, gosh, that's what they start doing, you understand? And guess what happens? I mean, the whole family's talking to something, man. You understand? But that's how it is. I enforce that. I straight away I enforce my kids to keep talking. I want them to keep talking like I talk to you 24/7 all the day. I mean, record their whole life. I understand? So that's the whole point.